Hey, Tony Jackson's here, popping in a little bit. So yeah, come on here, and I was just, what spurred the thought of this video was let me turn off this rear AC. Spurred the thought of this video was I seen that the rapper Drake listed his $88 million mansion in Beverly Hills. He listed it for sale. And it just made me think about how lonely life is when you don't have a wife, and like how empty life could be when you have money on that level and you don't have a wife and kids that you raising with your wife. And it just hit me, and I want to really encourage the men today to understand that if you are a man and you're over the age of 25, and you've been with a woman for 3 years after 25, meaning it's been 3 years, you 28, and you done been with this woman at least since you was 25, at least 3 years, and you 28 years old, you strongly need to consider getting the knowledge that you need to get married. And marriage it's a big deal. It's not something that you just do on a whim. It's not something that you just do to do. Like you have to be very intentional about marriage and who you marry, but you gotta have a baseline. And what I mean by the baseline is do your due diligence to see if you can trust this woman. Like, can you trust this woman? And what I mean by trust is you might know something. You might know something that she doesn't know that you know. Like, you might have seen a text message. She left her phone out on the bed, on the counter. You seen a text message from her friend saying, hey, thank you for loaning me $100. And let's say that conversation come up, and you say, and y'all talking about finances, and you say, well, how do you feel about loaning money? And she said, well, I'll never loan money to anybody. And you be loaning money to your mama or your friend, and she telling you she'll never loan money, but you done seen she loan money to her friend. Whether you seen it, or heard about it, what have you. Now you know you got your little white liar. You got your woman who tell white lies. Now that's not the end of the world, but that lie can lead to a lot. And you have to look into that, and you got to see, okay, well, where does this come from? See, can you trust this woman? And it's not really fair to test humans, because sometimes when you test a human, it's not authentic, it's not organic, like it's something that would not really happen. And so you testing it, and people will fail in a situation that could be fabricated faster than they fail in a real life situation. So like, you may tell your homeboy to try your girl and she fall for it, whereas in real life your homeboy may never try her. And so the fact that he trying her, it could really put her in a space to where she like, is this like a soulmate type thing? Like, what's going on? And she don't really know how to respond to it, because it's not a real situation that organically happened. Whereas if it organically happened, if he did do it, he might come off a little creepy. He might come off a little forceful, and she able to kind of peep it and say, yeah, no. But if he do it in a very conniving way or a sneaky way, because y'all done planned it, now it's not really a real life test. And that doesn't excuse it, because she still should be on the same thing. And what you also got to realize too is some women you will never be able to trust because they are human. And just like you as a man, you may not be able to be trusted. You know, you may lie sometimes, you may deceive sometimes, manipulate sometimes. You may not be able to be trusted. And that is human. You know, that's part of the human experience. And we all fall short in some way. So you can't hold someone to perfection, but you need to see if they got a baseline. Like for me, what I realized with my wife is she faithful and she loyal and she honest as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. If I go to slipping up, if I go to being abusive, toxic, what have you, anytime I was that man in our relationship, she started looking around. She started preparing her exit. She started opening up her options, and I realized my wife is the type of woman that if she good with you, she good with you. If she off you, she off you. She the type of woman to where if you do it wrong, you do it nasty, she ain't stunning you. But if y'all on good terms and she know you got her, she got you. But she don't ride for you. She ain't finna ride or die for you. She gonna ride and live if you trying to ride and live. If you trying to ride and die, she finna get out to ride. And I realized I gotta respect that. I said I gotta respect. I can't expect. And I thought about it and I said, I really don't want no woman who gonna play the fool. I really don't want no woman who gonna be faithful to an unfaithful man. I really don't want no woman who gonna be loving to an unloving man, because that means she don't love herself. Because if she don't have standards for herself to where she don't have requirements in order for her to reciprocate, then she ain't got enough love for herself. She don't know her own worth and her own value. And I learned that from my wife, that I will get out what I put in. She not gonna play the fool. She not gonna be a floor mat. And to be honest with you, I realized as a man, I've learned, because of course we want a woman, we think we want a woman that'll be like a ride or die chick. We think we want a woman that will do anything for us. We could cheat, it come out, she'll forgive us. We think we want that. But that woman really has no backbone. That woman really doesn't know who she is. That woman really is hurting and lost. And one day that woman gonna break. And that break may be homicide, where she take your life, or it may be suicide, where she take her life, or it may be homicide and suicide, where she take your life and her life, or she take the kid's life and her life. You don't want a weak, broken woman who allows herself to be a floor mat, because a human is not created to exist like that, and eventually something bad is gonna come from that. So you got to realize and understand that, and you want a woman that'll lead you before hurting you. And it's real. It's very real. And I had to learn that. I had to learn that I benefit as a man from a woman who got strength, who got a backbone, who got a voice, but not disrespectful and doggish and all of that. A woman who, she could speak her mind, but she gonna do it with strength and honor and classiness. And she'll show you her back walking out the door before she show you her behind. Meaning, show her behind, busting windows, slicing tires, and all of that. She'll lead. And so you got to ask yourself, is this woman classy? Is she self-respectable? Does she respect herself? Does she love herself? Is she honest? Is she trustworthy? If you have those things, you have a wife. Because what do you need to build an empire? You need honest people around you. You can't build with dishonest people. You can't build with unfaithful people. You can't build with disloyal people. But if you got people who are faithful and honest, loyal, you can build an empire. And so that's what you want, and that's what you need. And if you got that in a woman, then you got everything you need. You got everything you need, because everything else is gonna stem from that. Everything else could be built from that. So everything else from there, she's gonna be willing to grow. She's gonna be willing to heal. She's gonna be willing to learn. She's gonna be willing to love. And you're gonna be able to build. You're gonna be able to build with her because of her foundation. And you can't get too caught up in the nuances of things. Like, does she have a father? Does she get along with her parents? All that stuff in the grand scheme of things don't matter, because a person gonna choose their own life. It's women who was raised with their mama and daddy, and they have become very promiscuous and loose. And it's women who was raised with a single mom who was very self-respecting, very respectful, and love themselves and take care of themselves. And they was raised in a single parent home. It's women who was raised in a group home who love and respect themselves. And then you got women who was raised in single parent home, group home, and they promiscuous. You have to look at who a woman is for herself today. You can't judge her based on her past. You can't judge her based on where she come from. You got to look at her on her present. What has she done with her past in her present? Because it doesn't matter about her past if she hasn't turned it into something useful for her present. If she's turned it into something useful for her present, she's emotionally intelligent, she's responsible, she's respectful, she's loving, she's caring, she's kind. She has the baseline. She has the foundational things, the fruits of the spirit, the things you want a human being, not just a woman, but a man, a child, boy, girl. The things you want a human being to have, those qualities, those attributes, those things, that's what you want. That is what you want. And if you got that, you can't worry about nothing else. You got to look at the intangibles. And one of the things that I used to always say, well, when a guy says he ain't got the money for a woman, he making excuses. And I have to retract that, because I realized being a husband, dad, and just being a relationship coach, a life coach, that women are very entitled. And it's like a daddy's girl mentality, even if they didn't have a daddy. That women on average, most women, and you can't, we're not worried about what a woman say about herself in the comments, because a lot of times people talk about themselves be crazy. But most women are entitled. And they entitled, and they selfish, and they greedy. And that may be the same for a lot of men, but I have found that to be true about most women. Just even in coaching, and just the deliriousness of a woman. And for y'all women that's watching this, just stay out the chat. This is man to man. This the truth. Is if you wasn't in the room, this what I'll be telling a man. So yes, you want to be working on your finances. You'll never get all the way there. Like, I'm rich and broke at the same time. That's why the comedian Lil Duval made that brand, Rich Broke. Because we always rich and broke at the same time. Like, you rich, you could be rich and make $1 million, but you're gonna spend $1 million too. You, at the minimum, you're gonna spend $900,000. So technically, you're still broke. And so you don't ever feel like you're gonna ever be financially set. Nobody's financially set. You say, oh, well, Jeff Bezos financial. No, he's not. Because Jeff Bezos, billions of dollars is in stocks. Now, he just sold a few $100 million. So he got a few $100 million, but what does that matter? Because his space program costs $7 billion a year. So he could go broke too, just like Elon Musk went broke. Elon Musk done went broke. He done spent every single dime. He done had money and spent every single dime on Tesla and his SpaceX program, his space program. Like, no matter how much money you got, the more money you got, the more you spend, because the bigger your bills get, the bigger your wants get, the bigger your needs get, the bigger your desires get. So you're going to spend more money. Point blank, period. You're going to spend more money. And so you got to realize and understand that if you got love, then you got the foundation. If y'all got love, y'all got the foundation. And yes, your woman might complain and take little shots, say little stuff, but she'll be all right. She'll be all right. Because if a woman will leave you about money, she doing you a favor. If a woman will leave you because you can't get her her dream car, her dream house, her dream ring, all of this in the first year of marriage, then she doing you a favor if she leave you over stuff like that. And when it comes to a ring, man, listen, you go to a jeweler and you tell that jeweler you want a lab diamond, they still be taxing for them. If they taxing, then you come to me and you can make your own jewelry company and you just get a lab diamond. Don't go spend $10,000 on a real diamond, because now in this day and age, I just watched a documentary called Nothing Lasts Forever. I watched it on the plane. They say when you go to a jewelry store, it could be Zales or whoever, and you paying real natural diamond prices, you could be getting a synthetic diamond and you don't know the difference, because you can't tell the difference by the naked eye, and it take a very expensive machine to be able to tell the difference. And they made these little machines to try to tell the difference, but they say they're inaccurate because they can't tell. Because the way synthetic diamonds is made, they made with the same properties. They made just like a diamond. They basically just recreate the earth. They make a compressor that's just like the earth, and they add pressure and they add heat and they add, just like they say pressure make diamonds, they add all of that, all of the same elements as if that diamond was in the dirt, and it come out just like it, and it come out more flawless, and it look better, it shine brighter, because it don't have all of the natural blemishes and all of this stuff, the flaws that a natural diamond have. And so it actually look better. So sometimes you see these women, I was wondering, I was like, why is these diamonds that I'm looking at on these women's hands so flawless? But I didn't realize that there was such a thing as a lab diamond. And I didn't realize that you could get an internally flawless lab diamond. And, you know, a great color and clarity. And so I'm looking at these diamonds, and we looking at, you know, my wife was getting jealous, and then I learned about lab diamonds. Now she got a natural diamond, and it's 3 carats. It looked good. But my wife got that, I think, 15 or 13, 14, 15 years of marriage. I paid $40,000 for my wife's set. Her, between, you know, the band and the ring, I paid $40,000. But my wife's first ring that we got married with was $69. The next ring, I think, was $2,500. The next ring was $5,000. And the 25 and 500 come from like K's. So it was little clusters of diamonds. Little diamonds, could have been synthetic diamonds, and don't even know. And then finally I went to a diamond place, a lady in New York, her company called Ring Concierge, and she sell diamonds. Where she got them from, how she got them, I don't know, but she sell them, and she make jewelry, and she could be selling synthetic diamonds. I don't know. I ain't got the diamond tester. But my wife got an old, you know, a European cut, you know, old diamond. So the color and clarity not that good, but it look good. It look good when it gets shined up. And so I say that to say, don't waste all that money. You also want a woman who, she got common sense. The women these days, you gotta talk common sense into them. So many of them do not have common sense. Like, they so just bent on $100,000 wedding, a $50,000 wedding. You got that kind of woman, you got a headache. My wife, she married me in the courthouse. That's one thing about her. She like fine things, she like nicer things, but if we can't do it, she cool with it. If we could do it, she want the nicest of the nice. If we could fly private, she want to fly private. If we could go to a diamond resort, she want to be at the diamond resort. If we could have the best seats in the arena, she want the best seats in the arena. She want the absolute best, but she will settle for whatever we can afford. And that's one thing about her, you know, that I love about her. And every woman will have their ways, and some women are worse than others. Some women will make you feel 2 inches tall for not being able to buy them what they want and get them what they want. They'll basically tell you you're not a man if you can't provide on this or that level. If she let something like that come out of her mouth, walk off on her. Just leave her. She ain't got no sense, because she grown and musky and can't provide for herself on that level. Then she shouldn't be requiring that you provide unrealistic level at the state that you at, especially if you got work ethic and ambition, and you are a hard working man. If she can't respect and appreciate that and understand what that's gonna lead to, then you with a fool, and you need to leave her. It's too many women to put up with a woman just cause she got a big booty, just cause she got good sex, good oral sex, good whatever she got. It's too many women to put up with a woman who ain't got common sense, who is greedy, selfish, unrealistic, self-centered, be asking for the world and don't give the world. It's too many women. So don't get caught up on that. Don't get caught up just dealing with a woman because you lost your virginity to her, or because you've been with her since 9th grade. Because I'll be honest with you, one of the themes I have found is that most of the time, couples that have been together since high school go through a divorce because they grow and they get to a place where they want different things. They want different things. They at a different place in their life, and they want something different. They outgrow each other. They change. We not the same person at 15 years old that we are at 30. And that be the issue a lot of times with people. So, hey, get this in your mind and realize this here. You know, realize and understand that you need to go ahead and pick a woman based on going in here for Mother's Day. Get a couple more gifts. I got a couple gifts at the house that cost me, and I done did a lot, but I just need to do a little more for my wife, because I done set a standard with her to where I have her quite a bit to open on holidays. And so right now I only got 2 gifts left, because I let her open another one, and then the other ones was financial gifts that I gave in April. So I got to go in here, and what I'm gonna do sometimes, quantity with quality, but quality don't necessarily mean it got to be super expensive. So for me, where I'm at right now, like one of the gifts I got at the house cost me $2,200, I think, or something like that, and then the other gift cost about $400 to $600, I can't remember. And so what I'm gonna do is, but it's just 2 things. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and get, like, you know, may spend like another $1,500, $2,000, but get stuff that's like $400-500. So it's quality. You know, get a new pair of sandals or something. We got Tulum next month. Get a new pair of sandals for Tulum. Might cost me $300 or something, but it's another thing to open. She got a bunch of wallets, because the wallets that I get her is that calf skin leather, the Chanel wallets and them Louis Vuitton wallets. Them things last a lifetime, so all her wallets is still like brand new. So it's no real sense in getting that. She don't really wear belts, because she rarely have on an outfit for a belt, but I could get a belt though. Get a belt, 300-400. You see what I mean? So it's like when they see that orange Louis Vuitton bag and they see that little green Gucci bag and see a little whatever color MCM bag. Now that quantity, they got that quantity and its quality, but it didn't cost crazy amount. And then if you at the place where you can only do one thing, 200 goes, instead of getting $200 worth of crap from H&M, just go spend $200 at a luxury store. So now that luxury item, it's gonna last a long time. She could have it for life instead of getting $200 worth of crap that be tore up in 30 days. So understand and realize that there. Y'all can't see it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give in soon to let my son do something when he turn 18, because it's these lame men with a sleeve of tattoos. And I'm like, man, how this lame got a sleeve of tattoos? But hey, God bless you. I'm in the mall to walk around talking like this, because I always said I wouldn't be that person to act like I'm the only one in the world that exists. So God bless you. We'll talk soon.